Good morning. Welcome to day 2 here at IPC Apex 2020. Wonderful first day, busy show floor, lots of new equipment which we'll be showing you throughout the rest of today and later next week. My first guest this morning is Rhidi Kantelal. Did I get that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And of course, Rhidi, you are the business development manager for a company called Arch Systems. Now, Arch Systems is basically a software company that does process control software, but you go across the whole value chain. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah. So Arch Systems is a software and hardware company, so we have both. And what we really do is we have multiple ways of extracting data out of machines. We standardize this data to, say, IPC CFX or other standards, and we build applications on top of it, such as global KPIs and predictive maintenance.
Right. Okay. So it's important that you don't. So you take a holistic view of the whole manufacturing process.
Absolutely.
So
yes.
If it's got like plastic moldings involved in all sorts of different areas, you'll extract data from that. So you're providing a uniform set of data set.
Yes, so our technology is can be used for any kind of discrete manufacturing. So we do cover the entire supply chain of a product, so plastics, mechanicals, the electronic SMT, and we can standardize the data to show say in one dashboard if needed.
Right, okay. So you do this on behalf of numerous different companies within the industry, but you also do it for OEMs as well as contract manufacturers.
Yes.
And in fact, I think on the contract manufacturing side, we can probably mention one customer. I think you do one of the bigger tier ones. You're doing stuff for Flex, basically, on a global level. What are the different types of things that you're looking for when you're working with an OEM customer? Because they're essentially trying to monitor to make sure that the CEM is doing their job correctly.
Yeah, I think with the OEM, there's a added layer of a complexity, because an OEM might have their own manufacturing as well as use contract manufacturers.
Right.
And when when you're looking at operational data and KPIs, for example, they want to make sure they're looking at the numbers mean the same thing. So standardizing across their contract manufacturing, data from their contract manufacturer as well as their own manufacturing adds another layer that where our technology can be of extra use. Right,
okay. Fine. So, and as you say, you work on a global level, so you're not getting involved in supply chain stuff or anything like that, so you're not really involved with this coronavirus problem that's hitting the industry?
It does affect, of course, it's a problem that's affecting the entire industry. We've had to delay some installations. Our customers, also, definitely being affected by the coronavirus, and some of them are considered, potentially moving their operations to another country, and that's where we come in as well, because being able to get data straight from the machines, it makes it easier to set up at a faster pace and train operations as well faster. Right.
Interesting. Okay, so you're working right down to the process level on the machine-to-machine communication. What sort of things do you typically monitor and measure at the machine level?
So usually, with our technology, you can measure anything. So really, where we start is with the customer, asking what are their biggest problems, where are they where are their biggest challenges, and we define, based on that, what is the best data that you can get to solve that problem, and that is the data that we extract from the machines.
Okay, so you basically go in, you typically analyze your systems, look for the pain points, and then start to roll out a strategy, should I say, for Industry 4.0 factory automation?
Really, we think of it more as partnership with our customers, because we can't say we know their factories are better than them, right? So we usually really work with them and define. Say we start with a few machines, a few lines, and then we quickly then scale to the entire operations.
Okay, great. So how many installations do you have globally, or is that proprietary?
We have installed in over 4,000 machines.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
4,000 machines. Yeah. Okay. That's
Yeah.
fair enough.
Over 100 lines.
Right. Right.
In SMT.
Right. Right. That's quite significant. So.
Yeah.
Good. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations, and thank you for telling us about it. And we look forward to hearing more information from you as you develop in this industry. But
Yeah.
for now, Rhidi,
Yeah.
thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Trevor.
Okay. Coming up after the break, we're going to be talking to the Director of Operations from Valtronic.
Sponsored by Panasonic. Smart factory solutions for any mix, any volume. Introducing the new NPM W2S, the ideal placement solution for manufacturers who value reduced setup and changeover time over volume.
And welcome back. I'm delighted to be joined by Edward Bartos, who's Director of Operations for Valtronic. Nice to see you, Edward. Thank you for coming
Good
in.
morning. Nice to see you.
Yeah. So tell us our viewers a little bit about Valtronic. You're a fairly diverse contract manufacturer with a global footprint.
Yes, we are. And about 80 to 85% of our business is medical, a little bit of industrial, a little bit of aerospace.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you're split across 3 sites. Can you tell us a bit about these?
Yes, we're in Switzerland, in the Loire Valley, and then in Morocco, and then Cleveland, Ohio area.
Okay, okay. So what sort of range of services do you offer customers? Do you go from design through to final box build?
Yes, we have extensive design engineering in Switzerland, and then we have a design service in Cleveland, Ohio area that takes the product from an engineering stage and into commercialization and industrialization and into the marketplace.
Right, right, okay. Are you doing any sort of automation on your systems, to bring them into this smart factory environment?
Yes, well, we've in Solon, Ohio, we have 4 SMT lines, and all the way through to AOI, and then we're starting the smart factory and starting to get the data analysis and trending, so that our AOIs are talking to our SPIs and making sure that we've got good feedback and good quality.
Right, right. Okay, it's important. So I believe a fairly recent component that you're adding is the box build side of the business. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Right, we've grown from a contract manufacturer just printing circuit boards. Our customers are asking for more and more, and we went from secondary operations, now we're on to box builds. So we build the boards, the sub-assemblies, final assemblies, final test, calibration, burn-in, and giving the customer the final product.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned earlier that you actually do design for test. There's not a lot of people really do that. They typically design the board, but they completely forget about designing for test.
Yes, yeah, we could help with that quite a bit. If that's the easiest time to make sure that you're going to get a good quality product. So designing the test points in there so that you could down the line test those and make sure that before they go into a sub-assembly, you got a good product.
Right, right. Now, over in your Swiss facility, I believe you've got some clean room activities. So what are you baking there? Are you making semiconductor packaging devices?
Yeah, we do some wire bonding there, gold and aluminum, for customers. We also have a clean room in Solon, Ohio that does gold bonding for for customers.
Right, right. That's interesting. So that's based within the PCBA plant. So you've got the clean room in there as well.
Exactly. So whether it's a die attach or flip chip, wire bonding, encapsulation, whatever the customer needs to protect their product.
Right, right, right. Okay, good. So obviously we're in a very challenging time at the moment. There's certain talk of disruption in the supply chain coming through from the effects of the coronavirus in China.
Right.
Are you seeing any signs of that yet?
Yeah, we have, as far as getting information out at this point. Our stock has been good, so we haven't ran into any issues to this point there. But the they were out on holiday, didn't come back from the holiday at this point, so it may have some problems down the road. But we try to stay away from single sourcing and sole sourcing, which could lead to problems down the road, and we have good domestic sources to help us out.
That's pretty smart. So do you use the big box companies for sourcing, or do you use 2 or 3 different ones? I mean, do you use the Avnets and DigiKeys and these types of people?
We do. Your Aero, DigiKey, TTIs, all good suppliers for us.
Yeah. Okay, good. Great. So what's next? What's coming?
What's next?
Yeah.
Well, I'd say that the biggest thing is to keep growing the capabilities for the customer, because they're asking us to do more. Right. So whether that's through automation or a smart factory or more testing, whatever the customer needs in order to make sure that the product they get is what they want to deliver into the marketplace.
Great. Well, we want to look forward to seeing your continued development, and thank you for coming in and telling us about Valtronic today.
Very good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you very much. They say in business that if you make it through the first 5 years, these are the hardest ones. My next guest has actually made it through 60 years and celebrating their 60th anniversary this year. I'm delighted to be joined by Mark Percival from Murray Percival, the rep group, really.
Yep.
From the great state of Michigan. So welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about the rep group. How many? First of all, tell us a bit about the history. Who started it? Was it your father or was it your grandfather?
It was actually my grandfather back in 1960. He actually started repping Electrovert, who we still represent today, ITW, and he started selling capital equipment, and it turned into more of a hybrid business, selling distribution products, kind of the razor and the razor blade,
right?
Just an overall solutions, and now we're kind of a process provider as well. So
right.
we got it all for everybody.
Yeah, you got to get more involved with the customers on the process level and help with the solutions and that type of thing.
Yeah. It starts off with providing the equipment and materials that they need, and then supporting them on after that, because they have problems, and it's an ever-changing industry, and we're there constantly for them. It's about building the relationships with them and keeping it going, and
right.
making sure they're successful.
Right. Okay. So 3 generations. How many people totally are working within the group?
So we currently have 15 employees right now with us.
It's quite big. And how big is your actual territory?
So as far as distribution, we're nationwide, and but for capital equipment, we're Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania.
Okay, well, that's quite a big territory.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. You mentioned Electrovert, of course, but what are your other main lines that you represent?
Well, we've been with on the distribution side, Alpha, for decades now. They're a great partner of ours. We also do AOI, with MirTech.
Yeah.
We have about 70 different lines right now in our line card.
Really?
So we got a lot of them.
That's a lot. That
Yeah.
is a lot. And is that all in printed circuit assembly, or are you doing stuff in back-end packaging and that type of area?
It's really, like I said, we're a process provider. So anything our customer needs, we usually have the solution for it. So we cover all facets.
All facets.
Yes.
Of it. Okay, great. And so was 2019 a particularly good year for you?
It was, yeah. We've been improving year by year, and 2019 was great for us, and I think 2020 is going to be even better.
Even better.
Yeah,
Right.
We're excited for it.
So what trends are you seeing emerging within your customers?
Well, a lot of people are asking about, Industry 4.0, connectivity, traceability.
Yeah.
And, we have different vendors that we support now talking with each other. We have MirTech, QuickTech. Everyone's really integrated, and it's all about, from the beginning to the end, traceability and knowing what's going on, and that's very important to our customers.
Right, but the customers are actually grasping that and asking for that
Absolutely.
actively now?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Good. Okay, great. Well, we thank you obviously for Murray Percival was very supportive of our eSmart Factory event in Michigan last year, and hopefully you'll help to support our event next month. But for now, Mark, I want to thank you, congratulate you on your anniversary, of course, and
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. That brings us to the end of this morning's programming, but keep an eye out for some of the panel discussions coming up today. In fact, there's one coming at 10 o'clock on the effects of the coronavirus and how it's seriously impacting our industry.